Bang. Cotton candy. This right here is a classic flavor. Absolutely a classic. I think Bang was the company that kind of opened the door for a lot of other energy drink companies to come out, make a name for themselves, do all the crazy flavors. A lot of people straight up ripped off Bang when they first came out. Like Reign specifically. I remember Reign had a flavor called Carnival Candy. They just mirrored Bang in every way they could. Yeah. By the way, still live in an apartment right now. And look how long this fucking walk is to my car. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just, getting past the parking lot. But it gets busy here, It gets busy here. So, that's one thing. Cannot wait to buy my house. And hopefully have it somewhere far away from a bunch of neighbors, Yeah, so now I can finally take a few sips. I've already been drinking this thing a little bit. And that right there, that's one flavor that I haven't really gotten sick of. I don't think I ever will. I mean, of course, if you drink the same flavor over and over and over, you need a little variety once in a while. But yeah, man, while I drive here, I'm just gonna give a quick review of Bang Cotton Candy. I do need to cut back on the energy drinks. If you're a real connoisseur of energy drinks like I am, you've definitely overdone it at some point, But whatever, we can have a health conversation, on a different day. Right now, what we're here to talk about is the review. I figured since I do tend to go through a bunch of energy drinks, I figured it could be cool to just give some reviews. I like watching energy drink reviews, or just reviews on anything that I enjoy myself. But I think the way that I review stuff is quite a bit different than most people. Let me give an easy example. Let's say there's a flavor that's called, grape. Something that tastes kind of like grape soda. Perfect example is Ghost. If you've had Ghost Energy, they got a grape flavor that literally tastes just like Welch's, grape juice, but it's carbonated. It tastes like grape soda. It's real good. Real good. So, if you're someone that absolutely hates grape soda, and you go and buy a grape soda flavored drink, and you're going to review it, and you say, oh, this is terrible, this is a 1 out of 10, or this is a 0 out of 10, I can't believe anyone would enjoy this grape soda flavor. Well, you're not really giving a fair review, right? Because number one, you wouldn't go and buy that, right? You hate that. It'd be like someone who's lactose intolerant reviewing a milkshake. You know what I'm saying? They would say, oh, guys, this is terrible, and it's going to make you sick, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not the proper way to review anything, quite frankly. So, also, opposite of that, let's say I love grape soda, and so I find something that tastes exactly like grape soda, and I go, oh my god, this is the best thing ever, this is the greatest, energy drink that they've ever made. I can't give that thing like 100 out of 10, because I have to be aware of my own personal bias, right? Like, if you've ever watched the show Kenan and Kel has a thing where he's just obsessed with orange soda. He drinks it for breakfast. Like, he chugs like 5 gallons of orange soda every day. Like, it's just his favorite thing ever. He goes, who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda. He loves it. So he can't give an honest orange soda review, right? Because he has a bias. To him, orange soda is better than oxygen, right? So if you're not aware of that, then you're not even going to give a good review. So I hope that makes a lot of sense, right? If you know you don't like the flavor, I think it's best to just give your review. Like, if you're going to rate it like 1 out of 10, or if you're going to go like, this is an A+, or this is a B+, whatever. If you know that you don't like the flavor, I think the best thing to do would be to just rate it on how the flavor is supposed to taste, right? Like, let's say I hate watermelon flavor, but they come out with an energy drink that is like the most identical watermelon taste ever, and it tastes like you just bit into a delicious, juicy watermelon. I have no choice but to give that a 10 out of 10, right? Because we're not ranking my personal preference. We're ranking it on a straight, review basis. Like, what is this supposed to taste like? This is supposed to taste like watermelon. And it does. They nailed the flavor. They did a great job with it. So, okay, this gets a 10 out of 10, right? It'd be like if you're a teacher, and I know I'm kind of giving too many examples here, but I find in life that people never really understand when I give examples, so I just end up giving a whole bunch of fucking examples. You can just pick one, whichever one you comprehend. Last example, though, before I get into the real review. Let me take another sip real quick as I'm driving here. Drinking and driving. All right, so what I'll say now, picture that you're a teacher, right? And the student's assignment is to write a book report, right? Let's say one student wrote an assignment on your favorite book, the book that is most special to you, and you absolutely love this book, but his book report really sucks. He didn't try that hard. Maybe it's not even like half a page. It's poorly written. You're not going to get a good grade, at least if the teacher's going to be fair. You're not getting a good grade. Yeah, sure, I love the book, but this book report is shitty. Vice versa. if you really dislike a book, like, a book that was always recommended to me was The Celestine Prophecy. I read that shit when I was like 17, and I hated it. I don't know, maybe I should give it another shot now that I'm older, but I found it really boring, and whatever, you get the point. I disliked the book. But if someone wrote a stellar book report on The Celestine Prophecy, and it was an A+ book report, if I'm gonna be fair, hey, I have no choice but to give them A+, grade. So that's what I do with energy drinks, right? Or anything that I would review. But I find it's really, really easy with energy drinks because they have a specific flavor that they're supposed to taste like. So let me take a couple more sips for good measure, and then I'll go ahead and review this Bang cotton candy. All right. It's always best if it's cold. It makes the flavor really pop. The carbonation is always better. So I prefer all my energy drinks as cold as possible. As far as the accuracy, tastes like cotton candy. Yes, absolutely. It's a 10 out of 10. Aside from that, like, it's just like a preference thing of like, okay, how sweet do you want it to be, right? Some people like sour taste and shit. Some people like really sweet taste and shit. But again, this is called cotton candy. I can't think of anything that tastes sweeter than cotton candy. So because this drink is super duper duper sweet, it gets a 10 out of 10 because that is exactly what cotton candy is supposed to taste like. I have only found one cotton candy flavored drink, at least that's still around today. A lot of companies have came and gone. A lot of companies have like discontinued certain ones, like Reign. They don't make that carnival candy flavor anymore. They did it just as good as Bang, but the one company that's still around today that does it better than Bang is called Rise. They have a cotton candy flavor. I'm not sure what the exact name is. It might just be called like blue cotton candy, but it's literally the only one that you'll find if you just look up Rise cotton candy energy drink. So they're the only one that is better than Bang in terms of cotton candy. But you will rarely see them in a gas station. You gotta go to fucking GNC or Vitamin Shop, someplace like that where, it's really just not gonna be on like your daily route, so as far as convenience, taste, flavor, accuracy, sweetness, and again, I'm rating on sweetness because cotton candy is sweet, right? Like if they made a flavor called, I don't know, like super duper sour, and I drank it and it tasted sweet, I'd be like, this is zero. Like, this is not what it's supposed to taste like. Again, I'm not rating it on my personal preference. I'm rating it on how accurate it is. You see what I'm saying? So this cotton candy from Bang, they get a 10. just get the jitters. I don't know. I'm totally desensitized to it these days. Like when I got out of boot camp, I was in boot camp from January to March. So I didn't have an energy drink for like those 2 months. And then my wife brought me one once I got out of boot camp. Yeah, buddy, I drank like half of that thing. It was a Ghost Blue Raspberry. And I started shaking. My hands were jittering, like I couldn't keep them still. And I was like, is this what normal people go through with these fucking drinks? Like, goddamn. You know? So like I said, I do need to cut back. I'm not going to be drinking like multiple, a day anymore, like I did for way too long. But I figured I would at least, do something, for the times that I am going to be partaking. And that's, just making a little review. And, gosh, I don't know what else I can say about it. Just for my first little review here. Yeah, I mean, it's super sweet. It tastes just like cotton candy, It tastes like you just took a giant bite out of a brand new cotton candy thing. And, yeah. It's, probably one of the sweetest energy drinks you'll ever taste. Ooh, I just saw a deer on the side of the road. We'll definitely see some more up here. There's always a lot of deer in this area. But yeah, man, there's not too much more I can say about it. It's very true to the flavor, I guess for my personal preference, though, it might only get like, I'll put it at like a 7, probably 7.5, a strong 7.5, just because I do like them really sweet like that, but I also like it when you can really, really taste the carbonation, like when it just tastes like super carbonated, like a soda. I don't know why. Maybe to me that just makes it more savory, but that's my preference. So, some are more carbonated than others. This one, you can definitely taste the carbonation, but it's a little more smooth. It's very, very mild. Maybe that's just because the flavor is so sweet. I don't know, but But yeah, man, I can't knock it. I can't knock points off it for not being ultra, super duper carbonated, because not a lot of people like that anyways. Most people prefer just about average, Some people prefer lightly carbonated, And there's another thing. If there's an energy drink out there that specifically says non-carbonated or even lightly carbonated, and I see someone giving a review, and they go, yeah, but there's no carbonation. Once again, I will just look at them like they're stupid, bro. It says it right on the can. So if it says non-carbonated, and you taste it, you should expect that it tastes non-carbonated or lightly carbonated. So if it tastes exactly how it's supposed to, according to how it's marketed, then that should actually give it points, not take points away. So hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, man, I'll make some more reviews pretty much whenever I got free time, and whenever I crack open an energy drink, I'll just make a quick little review.